Hello, pilots, and welcome back to Flight Academy Season 5, brought to you by Out of Art Gaming. As always, my name is Phil, and today we have Game 8 of the season with multiple U-Wings and multiple X-Wings, trying to see which is the best combination of U-Wing and X-Wing. And joining me to talk about this is one of our pilots. We have Andy.
Hey guys, how's it going?
We are all good, Andy. Great to have you back to talk U-Wings and X-Wings with us, as that seems to be what we have a lot of on the table. What I do like, though, and something we were kind of talking about in the last game, is although we have 2 U-Wings and 2 X-Wings, all of it is built differently. So it's not it might be mirror ships, but it's definitely not a mirror match, which is quite nice.
Yeah, I did look at the other medium-based ships for the Rebels, but like the Ark looks fun, but you really don't get a lot of loadout on it, and you can get a lot of shenanigans on the U-Wing, and I like some shenanigans. So
Yeah, I think the Ark is better for the Republic than the Rebels, which is a bit of a shame. I mean, there's always the K-Wing, right? K-Wing, wink, 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 wink.
yeah, I mean that was another one I was looking at. Reminded me of the old days of Miranda with TLT and just regenerating shield, but
It's no matter how much I love the K-Wing, it's not ready. It needs some work. Like the loadouts on it are a little bit prohibitive. Oh, that is close, Wes. That is very close to that obstacle there.
I remember this game well because this was the final game of the first day. So I already played 2 games, and whether that feels like you're warming up or whether that feels like you're getting a bit fatigued, I'm not sure. But there's certainly a decision I made in this game that I regretted that we'll come to see soon. And actually, this was interesting because both my previous games, my opponents decided to joust me, which I was pretty happy with because the U-Wing, although you've got the fancy turnaround, if you just go up the board and then do a 180 and come back down, it's pretty easy to fly. But with Wes setting up in the opposite corner, it gave me the choice of do I turn in or do I go straight down. So I opted to turn in, which put Luke at the back. Yeah, so different engagement compared to my previous games with this one.
Yeah, but I mean, one thing I've
Oh wait,
noticed...
actually, was this game? This maybe this one game 2 actually. I can't remember.
In all honesty, we've recorded it a while back. 21 games. I think this was a bit later in the evening on night 1, but I think one thing I did find interesting with the U-Wing list is that the U-Wing definitely took the lead in most of these engagements. It was like a big blocking shield, and especially with Magfa's ability, I 100% don't blame like either you or Wes for using Magfa in the front because she's actually really good as a pilot.
Sure, and like I guess with both our lists, the damage comes from the X-Wing, and the X-Wing we want to keep alive. So if we can entice our opponents to put damage on the U-Wing, it's going to mean we can pump out more damage in the long game.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that you brought Luke purely for one upgrade on there, and that was the proton torpedoes because we just know how much you love proton torps.
I mean, at 5 points. He's really good ship, and like the force is on Luke and his ability to always re-get it, regen it when you defend. He's a really good ship, really solid ship for 5 points.
Yeah, I think the battle of having Luke Skywalker is, yeah, as I said, 5 points is an absolute steal. You've got instinctive aim, which means you don't necessarily need the target lock.
Yeah,
so
I think I used that. I think I might have used that in a couple of games. I might even choose to use it now, but using a proton torp without a reroll, it feels risky. It does feel risky when you get a really underwhelming shot. It's a bit but
yeah.
Then
there is that. You do suddenly think, I would love to have that reroll there. But yeah, I mean, was it 3 seasons you've done a Flight Academy now, and every single time at least one of those ships has had proton torps on it? And
I mean,
I'm pretty...
it's a good upgrade. It's a good upgrade. And
Yeah.
I think in this shorter format, you get even more value from it because in a long game, I know they never go 12 rounds, but 12 rounds is the limit, isn't it? If you think proton torps, that's possibly 2 rounds of shooting, and then you've got however many more rounds. Actually, in Flight Academy, you don't get that many rounds, so it's like more percentage of your rounds that you're firing proton torps, I guess.
It
And that was
averages
a proton
about
torp, so there we go.
rounds, yeah. But that was a good proton torp though. Fortunate that Lando was able to get the focus and evade for Magva, but that was still pretty good. Unfortunately, your Magva doesn't have Wes's Magva, so having to split into Wedge.
Yeah, not ideal.
When you obviously saw Wes's list and you saw Wedge with swarm tactics, did that give you any level of concern at all as to how the matchup was going to go?
Well, I think you want to fly them kind of together anyway, but with swarm tactics, you know that your opponent's going to stick their ships together. And yeah, you just have to be really careful of that double tap kind of pilot skill kill. But I don't know. It's an expensive upgrade, but it seemed to work well for Wes.
Yeah. I mean, it's a clever upgrade. I'm not going to lie. When I saw it, I was like, you know what? I got a lot of time for swarm tactics, especially just allowing both of your ships to fire at I6 is powerful. It's very powerful. And the combination of upgrades that Wes's Magma has, like Lando giving her just 2 focuses, 2 evades, focus evade, or your opponent's choice, and it's never an easy choice whether you give them a focus or an evade, to be honest. But having contraband, fire control, and Wes's favourite upgrade, elusive, it's a good set of cards of that.
I think I underestimated how tanky Wes's Ewing was. And like I said earlier, like I wanted to target Wes, but because Wes, I wanted to target Wedge, but because I got some early shots on the Ewing, it I don't know. I'm like X-Wing 101, isn't it? Is to focus ships, but I don't know. I think you do need to change target sometimes, and this is the decision I'm talking about that I come to regret because not to reveal spoilers because you'll soon see it coming up, but I opt to take the range 1 on the U-Wing with Luke rather than shoot a jammed Wedge, which probably would have got more damage on, considering he's got double evade there. I don't know, but you'll see that in a minute. And I think that was the wrong decision. I think I could have proton torped Wedge. Should have proton torped Wedge. But yeah, that'll be in this round of engagement.
But yeah, sometimes if you've got the damage already in there, you kind of want to double down on that. And I mean, you do have the target lock on Magva. You've got the force, you've got the focus, you've got the calculate, you've got all of the tools.
Yeah, I think as well having the lock on Magva. I don't know. I think I was feeling greedy and I was wanting to get value out of that, but I don't know really if I should have perhaps reassigned the lock to Wedge or. Because I already had the calculate anyway, so it wasn't necessary to take the focus. But
I mean, calculating force from K2SO and Luke himself. Yeah, maybe it would have been a good idea, but you know what? That's the thing with X-Wing, especially this. It's a 30-minute game. You have to make decisions quite quickly because you know that you don't want to stall the game. You never want to do it in a normal game, but you don't want to stall the game. And 30 minutes can go so quickly when you are the one that's flying.
Yeah, absolutely. And like in the who's shooting here?
I believe that's Wedge. Most likely into Magva.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ouch.
That's a big hit. 2 hits and a
That's a big
crit
hit.
as well. I think fortunately for you, Wes's Magva is out of position, damaged engine, so that's your hard turns are now a little bit harder. I think Wes's Magva is out of position, so can't actually get arc on Luke. So that is something there at least.
So yeah, this is Luke range 1 onto Magva. Spent the target lock.
With Magva's ability, would you have been able to actually reroll 2?
That is true. That's true. That's me. Oh, what am I doing? I don't know. You're right. I shouldn't have.
I mean, it didn't affect the eventual outcome anyway. But I just suddenly thought, because I was thinking, is Magva's, when it's in her arc? I was like, no, it's in that range 0 to 3
Yeah.
bubble, isn't it?
I mean, I should know that myself because I'm playing. I'm using the same ship, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, no action impact on the game state in any way, so that is always good. That's not a bad shot. That's a much better shot than we were expecting there. So
Yeah.
shields down on Wedge. That is, I mean, yeah, potentially if you'd managed to get a proton torp in there,
Would have
possibly
been
could have been wedged down, but
would have been more chunky for sure.
yeah.
But yeah, and I don't, just to carry on with what you were talking about a minute ago before we went into that shooting. I don't think you, like, in the videos and with the commentary is quite fun and it feels pretty casual, and it is casual. We're all here to enjoy ourselves, but we are playing on the clock, and I think we all know it's a time game, and I do think people make mistakes and don't always think about your decisions because you're always you don't see it on the video, but we are playing at, like, it feels like we're playing at pace.
Yeah, and what you don't realise is that I'm sat between the two tables just going 15 minutes, gents, 10 minutes, gents. Like, I'm giving you regular updates as to how long you've got left. And while I know how frustrating that can be, sometimes if you don't do it, it's easy to let the time get away from you. And, like, again, I'm also playing in this tournament as well, so I sometimes know that I look at it and go, oh my god, I've only got 2 minutes left. What? That 28 minutes just gone? So yeah, it can absolutely fly by so quickly.
Mm. So Wes was just deciding there which way he'd face his Ewing, and I was praying that he, because he was determined, he was thinking, does he face my Ewing or does he face the way he's facing? And he opted to face the way he was facing back to him, and I was so grateful he did that, because I 180'd mine, which gave me a really nice cheeky shot on him. But I don't know if you think he was perhaps trying to catch Luke, but I think I go slow.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of space for Luke to get through there either, so a 3 might have literally just cleared and sat him in a very awful position. I mean, you could have obviously attack speed boost round, but again, I think all that would do is maybe get you out of range 1. Is Wedge going for the K turn over the top? If he is, I like it a lot. Oh, I do like that. That's good position from Wedge. I think probably the most disappointing thing here for you is that I think we know where Wedge is going to shoot.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I made. I don't know if I made a mistake here, but I shouldn't be. I don't think I should be rolling any green dice. I think I might roll one and then pull it back out of the tray when I realised I shouldn't have rolled any. But yeah, that's yeah. It feels like it's guaranteed to go now.
Yeah. I mean, Wedge has no tokens though, so, and marksmanship is not on because he's ran parrot. Yeah.
That's all he needs. Do I roll? I do roll. I shouldn't roll.
You do roll, but it was a blank anyway. So that is a shame. And even if you did somehow have a Luke with swarm tactics, it would have still been a PS kill. And that's what Wedge is there to do. He's there to kill ships before they can shoot.
He did that
And
well.
He very well. I mean, if Magma had survived that, that would have been amazing for you because you would have had a great double shot onto Wes's Magma. As it stands, that's a good 3. Oh, elusive. A good 2 damage going through. So that is half points on Magma there. Now, if any pilot can pull this back and out of the bag, it is Luke Skywalker.
And there is still one charge of proton tops available.
Yes. So that could be one ship just going bye-bye quite quickly.
Yeah, and they've both got 4 hull. I mean, that could...
It's going to be a challenging one. Also, I'm curious as to where's his maneuver. Oh, absolutely glorious.
Wes played really well there because he knew that he had done that 1-speed bank previous to get into that position two turns ago, right? And then previous turn he'd done the turnaround, so he knew 100% that was going to fit because it looked tight, but that's clever use of the pivot wing turning around. And
he's having to remember 2 or 3 turns back there as well, with shooting in between. In itself, that's quite impressive. It's not always easy to remember exactly where things were. But yeah, very, very good use of the pivot wing there. Again, another tool that U-wing has, which just makes it quite ideal for this format. Ooh. Position for Wedge. He can get a lot of damage through here, potentially. The downside for you now is that if you spend the force, because he can shoot both at I6, you're not going to be able to just regain it on defense.
That's true. Yeah, I won't be defending. I won't be able to shoot and then defend afterwards to get it back.
Six minutes left, so there's still plenty of time here for you to score some more points. Wedge is 1 away from half, so
I do remember the way this game goes, but I'm not gonna spoil it. But clearly favouring Wes at the moment. But as I said, 4 hull on both of those ships and 4 dice on a proton top. That's is that a coincidence? We'll see.
I think that a U-wing and X-wing is going to win this matchup. Ouch.
That is a good consideration. That hurts.
That's good. That's really good.
I got the dice right that time.
Yeah.
Wow. That hurt.
What is the crit going in on Luke? Addict pilot, that.
Oh yeah. Ouch.
I was talking about this in a previous game and in the comments that 9 times out of 10 you're going to get a panic pilot whilst you are already stressed.
Yeah, that's a brutal crit.
Yeah. But hit crit onto Wedge there, spending a force. Getting the hit crit through. What is the crit? This could be telling. Doesn't look like direct. Console fire. That's not a bad crit to actually put through there.
It's a challenge now because there's not a lot of time left on the clock.
And it's going to be difficult for you to turn around. You've got to
Oh yeah.
you've got to clear 3 stress. I mean, again, plus side with instinctive aim, you don't have to worry about actually getting a target lock to get your proton torpedoes off. You just need to get yourself facing the right way. And then Magma does this. Not ideal. Not ideal.
I mean, I'm not dodging that arc. That's for sure.
No, I mean, you're not in the resistance and you don't have Corsella to get rid of all of that stress in one go. Oh, but the R2D2 trigger that, you know what? I do think that's a good use of R2D2 at that point. It doesn't get you back over half points, so Wes still has those points, but it does just give you that extra little level of survivability now.
Yeah, and it's for me it's just like a complementary upgrade. You don't necessarily use it often, but when you can use it, it's quite a nice extra buffer.
Yeah.
And like in that position, I felt like doing a blue is just too predictable. I think at this stage, I just felt I'm never going to clear my stress. So why bother even try and actually try and perhaps get around the board and turn around a bit quicker.
Yeah. Does Where's repair console fire? I couldn't think he did.
I can't remember.
I can't. The light is shining quite heavily on those cards, so I can't see. But 2 crits. Oh, 1 going through.
Oh.
But again, that shield you got back from R2D2 coming in clutch there.
For sure, dodging a crit.
That saved you.
I mean, he must have repaired the console fire because I'm not sure what action he would have took otherwise.
Actually, it looks like it's still flipped over, but if so, it should have been rolled. But he didn't take any other actions, so... He can... Another R2D2. Okay.
Yeah, I think at this point I knew I wasn't going to get a shot, so I thought, right, I'll just try and. I don't like the flying away, but I thought I'd try and retain some points because I knew Wes was going to be a contender, so keep his points down, it would benefit me.
I mean, in all honesty, this, as casual as we make this sound and as much fun as we're having, this is in the long run still a tournament style. So sometimes there are points where you just have to say, I just want to keep my points.
Sure.
I kind of want to just not get rid of them. There we go. So console fire must have been flipped last turn. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, and
because it didn't do any action, so yeah.
Yeah, so like the last season of Flight Academy, I brought quite a thematic list with the Anakin and Padme in the Naboos. So I wasn't too worried about how that went, but I thought this time around I'd really like to try and make the cut. So I am playing a bit more competitively this time around. So yeah, trying to not give away 3 points where possible.
Like I said, we love like being a bit competitive, just having a bit of fun. Like in the long run, we are pushing plastic ships around the board and rolling dice. And if you're not having some element of fun to it, probably doing something wrong. And luckily, I've said it many times, Wes is always a fun player to play against. Regardless of the result of the game, he's always having fun. You're exactly the same. Every time I've played you, we've always had fun, regardless of whether the result's going good for you or it's going bad. We always just try and go, you know what, we're getting to play Star Wars. That's all that really matters.
For sure, absolutely. And I think that's part of the ethos with Flight Academy as well, isn't it? It's, we're just there having fun. Although people want to do well, it's not like you're not committing too much into it. That if you don't do well, it's not, you're not going to go home and having an early night and you hang your head in shame. It's just having fun at the end of the day, isn't it?
But let's have a quick look at the tables. So Wes does leapfrog you there up into third place, but again, still early doors. Still early doors in the tournament, so plenty of games left to go, plenty of points left to get out there. I hope that wasn't too traumatic to look back on for you there, Andy.
I still remember that game and not shooting wedge, so I knew that was coming up. But no, it's nice to watch back. Thanks for having me.
But no worries, and next time, shoot wedge. But yeah, it was all good. But yeah, thank you for joining us. And guys, again, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time.